Hi felters and welcome. I'm always getting asked where do I get my supplies from for my needles and my wool, so I thought I'd do a quick video explaining it all to you. So first off, Heidi Feathers. Heidi Feathers is excellent for needles. She's also very good for some other bits and bobs, we'll go through that. But in particular, her needles are excellent, and Heidi Feathers is used by an awful lot of people. She can be found on Etsy. So just to give you an idea of the needles out there, so you've got triangular or triangle needles, twisted or spiral, that's the same name for both of them, star and a crown needle she does, and a crown I think has slightly more barbs at the end, so it's doing a little bit more work. So a crown needle's quite good. She also does reverse or inverted needles, it's sort of the same name, and she does those in 2 different sizes. I do a video on how to use a reverse needle. I'll put that on at the end, but she does a 36 gauge and a 40 gauge. So when you're doing reverse felting, you're sort of pulling the wool back out to create fluff. It's quite handy to have a bigger needle sometimes in the beginning because it'll be stronger because you don't want it to break. And another needle that she does is a forked needle, which I've never seen, and actually I'm going to order one because I didn't know about it until I researched for this video. And it's attaching doll's hair, so it's obviously got a little fork at the end and it will push the hair in really well. But because I do loads of sheep and cows, it might be really good, so I'm going to order one of those. And I also recommend getting a mix of needles if you can. You can buy them individually, you just have to go through the listing. I'm going to show you her site now. So here we are on Etsy. Go into the search bar, type in Heidi Feathers. Now the search bar can be a bit tricky on Etsy, just to show you what I mean. So up it comes, and now it hasn't gone directly to the Heidi Feathers shop, so go back to the search bar at the top and then it will say find shop names. If you go down, find shop names containing Heidi Feathers, and that's the actual shop, and that's the way you find shops, whereas sometimes on the search bar it doesn't quite work. So here she is with all her needles, so she's got a fantastic, if you go down you can click on just needles and then have a look through and see which ones you want. She also does wool. So here are some of her wools, and obviously I always go on about carded wools. So if you want to search in her shop, type carded, and then these should be carded. Now it should say it in the title, and if you can't see it in the title, this is a lovely selection here, which look carded to me, but I couldn't see it in the title. So I went down, and if you go into the information and then go further down, and then here it does say further down, carded slithers. So all the information is there. If you want carded wool from Heidi Feathers, just have a look and make sure you can find it. But look at this beautiful selection, gorgeous colours, really, really nice. So Heidi Feathers on Etsy is fantastic. There we go, back to the shop. Heidi Feathers on Etsy is her full name. One other company I've used for needles in particular is Thanks for Mutton, and they're really good because she sends this little card with all the colours and what the needles are. So she doesn't, unfortunately it's Canada based and they don't send to UK anymore, but if you're in America it's probably great. I'll show you that now. So here we are on Thanks for Mutton website, and you can see she does a range of needles, which is why I quite like it, because you don't get just triangular, you get a mix. So you get triangular, you get spiral, you get star spiral combo. So really, really good. There's the little card that comes with it, so keep that so you'll remember what needles what. So going on to mats, I think quite a lot of you have seen me with this mat. I just buy this off Amazon. It's going to be linked in the description below, and it's not too expensive. But the other one I use is Annie's Hand Felted Creations. So these are the 2 sizes. They are fantastic. I've really enjoyed using them. We'll just have a quick look at her site now. So this is again on Etsy, and her name is Woolery Felting on Etsy. Her website is Annie's Hand Felted Creations, which is her own website. But on Etsy, she's Woolery Felting, so that's why sometimes it's a bit tricky to find. And she's just having a break at the moment, so I can't get to the listing, but I've got a review. She gets very good reviews on these mats. Here they are, absolutely beautiful. Really, really like them. And then getting on to wool, I think the majority of you know that I buy most of my wool at World of Wool, which is a UK based supplier. They're fantastic. They've got so many wools. I'll just show you through their site now. So here we are on the World of Wool website, and if you go natural wools, there are absolutely loads. Jacob, Gotland, New Zealand, oh, Romsey, Marsham, Norwegian, every sort of type you could want. Icelandic, Finnish, Dorset horn. So I normally buy quite a few carded bats, and that's the big rolls of 200. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. So this is a Dorset horn bat, and I use a lot of this as core wool. So it's 200 grams, £5.25, and I use it for the legs and the head of a lot of my sheep. And then if you want smaller amounts, if you go carded slithers, and then they've got loads of different colours, but just to show you a couple of them that I really like, woodland creatures, beautiful colours, and they're all listed out for you. World of Wool do kits as well, but look at that: bear, deer, badger, fox, mouse, rabbit, squirrel, and then that woodland creatures mix bag is a really great sample pack. So just showing you physical sizes, that is a 200 gram bat from World of Wool, £5.25, and I use that the majority of the time for my core wool. And this, just to show you, is 100 grams of a slither. So the slither is more compact basically, because it doesn't look like it looks like it's 3 times the size, but that is a bit looser. So that's 100 grams of slithers. I know that a lot of people use bavette, which I'm going to link. I'll just show you the website now, but loads of people use that for core wool, and I am going to try it out because I've seen it recommended time and time again. So here's the site for that. So just to show you, on the bavette site, you go to bargain box and then go down carded wool, 1 kilogram, £15. Now when I put it all through, I think the delivery was free for the UK. I don't know what it would be for abroad, but really good reviews. And if you go further down, it says it can be used for core wool. So loads of people talk about this. So yep, I'm going to try it out. Bavette. So just a point on wools. I use carded wool the majority of the time, and I really recommend it for beginners because it felts faster and it merges really well. Tops is where it's all in one direction like that, and I do a whole video on wools. So you can use this. It's not a problem if you do have this. You can card it yourself, and again, I've got a carding video, but you can use it. There's it just takes longer basically. There's a lady called Wool Felt XI on her channel. I'm going to link it at the end, and you'll see she starts with tops, but it just, you can see how it takes you a bit longer, but she still gets a fantastic effect. So I'm not saying you can't, it's just it's not as easy as carded in the beginning. It can be a bit more depressing when you start doing this and it's taking you a long time. Now, curly wool locks is really quite easy because you just go onto Etsy and type in curly wool locks. We'll do that now. Here we are, just type in curly wool locks on Etsy and loads of things come up. So we've got Gotland wool, we've got Teeswater. There's a lot of obviously coloured. I mean, if you want a particular colour, just put grey curly locks. Got Wensleydale, Marsham. Lots of Wensleydales, really good. And just go in and check the amounts and how much you would get for your money. Hand washed Wensleydale again, Teeswater, all beautiful. So there's loads there. Now my Valet Black Nose, I use this site. It's Shepherd's Lane. Look at that, how gorgeous are they? And she prepares them so well, and they smell amazing, but they are quite expensive. And she's got some other wools further down as well, which she does some crosses, which might be a bit cheaper. Now eyes, I'm not particularly tied to anyone. I just search needle felting plastic eyes on Amazon. I use those ones with the metal. They can come like that, so you get loads for your money. And then the first ones are just plain, but these ones here I do use, but the ridges can make it a bit harder to get it in. You have to do a bigger hole with your owl. But just to show you, those are some that I use, Etsy and Amazon. So there you go. So that's all the curly wool locks, the needles, the mats, the wools. I think that's most things. I'm going to do a video on multi-needle tools because I find it hard sometimes. The clover pen that people get, it doesn't always work that well. It depends on what needles you put in it. I use a tri-needle and a lot of people use a multi-needle tool. So I'm going to do a video just sort of comparing and seeing which is best to try and speed up your work, basically. The other thing I wanted to mention is, if you're struggling with things, there are a wealth of Facebook groups out there. The biggest one for me in the UK is Needle Felting UK. There's 15,000 people on it. If you've got a problem, or if you're looking for something in particular, you can literally put it on there, and everyone's lovely and they're really helpful, and they've got loads of topics and sources so you can have a look through, and it's really easy to join. If you don't want to join such a big one and you really are a beginner and you're worried about putting a question on, Needle Felting for Beginners, friendly chats and advice. I mean, how nicer could it be? It's really inviting, so you could definitely go on that. And the other ones I look at, Rare Breed Sheep Fleece UK, and they sell wool on there. So if you're looking for a whole fleece or to buy direct from somebody, then I mean, that's a really good, you can probably find the equivalent in America. So Facebook is really fantastic too. I think I've covered everything. Any questions, let me know. Also, I would love for you to put comments below of places that you use or things that you recommend, because it's really helpful, because this is just what I use and the world is huge. There's loads of things out there. So if you've got any really good suppliers that you use and really recommend, that's great. I'm just going to go through a couple of other suppliers that have been recommended in books. Let me just get my list. I'm looking at these two books. I did reviews on these books, which are excellent for beginners. Needle Felting for Beginners by Roz and Judy. That's really, really fantastic. And then Needle Felting, A Complete Course by Laurie Rhea, I think. But I do a review on these. So ones that have been recommended: Europe, so The Makers, which I've used, Sweet Pea Dolls, very good. Obviously World of Wool, Heidi Feathers. And then USA, so that you've got some over there, because I haven't used them. So Living Felt, obviously Sarafina Fibre Art, which is amazing, and obviously all her tutorials are outstanding. The Woolery, The Felted You, and then Canada is Fibrecraft. I will try and list all of these in the description below. And the other thing to mention is I'm not making any money from any of these suppliers. The only ones I would do is if you click on any Amazon affiliates that I have in the description. So anyway, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope this was useful. Thanks very much.